Lord, am looking rough today? Oh, yes, I'm looking rough today. I've had a bad, a difficult week, and it's taken its toll. So, but this is Dr. Lueth, and it is July 10th, and let's see, it's 3:50 p.m. Eastern Time, New York. Yeah, I just wanted to address a few things. My physical health, yeah, small hiatal hernia, but yeah, that'll need surgery. And my hips are doing great. So, like certain surgeries, there's no big rush. I'm okay, but trying to figure out my medications is a little struggle. But anyway, uh, the reason that I do it this way, one, I get footage that I can use for my documentary, but also disseminating information, tracking symptoms, and a lot of other things. You know, I guess the best way I can put this is that there are some of us who we think eternally. Okay, yes, and if you don't be automatically thinking something's wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's kind of putting it into human words sometimes difficult, but I am just going to say that like my only interest is the comfort, health, and safety. Right. So if you're not a spiritual person, it's okay. I mean, I've got resources and contacts in the yeah, regular. I don't like using the word secular. It's just that I have found that if I don't, then the Catholics when they get mad at me, and I can't always use Catholic terminology because I'm not just talking to Catholics, okay? So yeah, Christian. I'm non-denominational, so right. So I'm not, and I don't profess to teach males. I don't do any of that. But as with quite a few of us, I mean, we were once pagans in that word. Okay, so that is why some of us, yeah, we're more familiar with certain things, and it's easier for us to discern. So, yeah, for Christians, those who understand, yeah, I mean, I do have Christ-like discernment. Okay, and for those who don't, sometimes I can be helpful in helping, but also uh, it's hard to explain. But so if I'm using, the terms angels, it's sort of misunderstood. Okay, and so don't just jump to any kind of conclusion. Like I said, if you're non-spiritual, I don't care. I'm not telling anyone they have to prescribe to because it's not my job. And if so, when I say the word God, I am just saying like the head of the church in heaven. So I'm referring to the Holy Bible that way. Right? But there are references to the Holy Bible to other angelic churches. Right. So my situation is more tenuous sometimes than others. And so it takes a much larger toll on me sometimes. So uh, yeah, I mean, I mean, I can discern between, what's my physical, health going on and what's something different. But it also causes a certain amount of stress. It's like, so I am sort of closing myself off to a lot of stuff, but I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that we need some uh, good help for Amy, and she should not be exposed to any of the people from the show. And I don't care if they don't like me. Take it up in legal court. You understand? You abused her. The end. It's not my job, but I would not allow it anymore. You understand? Okay. I mean, yeah, it was so bad that I mean, if I'm perceiving it like that, then it's an issue. But she does not have that anymore. Okay. She no longer has that ability. So you can't even try to use her. Okay, everybody? For her safety. Right. Listen, right? You know, uh, we have a very joyous situation coming, and nothing's gonna stop it. You understand? Like, right? Okay. Yeah, for me, because of Christ like discernment, I'm not. Yeah, there's certain ways that things don't stress me out that perhaps do for others. And the only thing, yeah, here, listen to this, everyone. Here's a good one. Okay. Here's something I never thought would ever be the case. Ever. I mean, but I was contacted by a skinwalker because Mr. Zach Bagans and crew used a scrying mirror too close to certain situations, and that's not okay. Okay, I don't have anything. You guys got to understand, you're all terrified of stuff. And it's not that bad. Okay. Like, yes, that's what I'm saying. I was like comprehending it. I'm like, what? Yeah, Mr. Zach Bagans is not operating professionally, and I'm not the only one who would agree with that. And yes, he is required to share his data with the scientific community. I don't care what he says. Do you understand? All EVPs need to be right. Listen to blind listen. You understand? Bull crap. I'm calling it on you people because we can, just not that way. And I think that, yeah, people work with Zach. I mean, yeah, you should sue him. Zach should be sued for a few things by people he's worked with. I don't care. Go ahead, attack me, man. I want you to. Enough. Yes, United States of America, the U.S. government, the healthcare system. Listen, the haunted fucking highway is goddamn closed to you people now. You understand? Haunted tourism. Knock it off. And yes, that's what I'm saying. So there are a lot of buildings in the United States that, right, that are still standing and they're abandoned, empty, and they still, yes, architects, yes, structural engineers still have good bones. Some of them, yes, hooked up to utilities, they might need updating. They might, but they're already in existence, and that makes it easier to build transitional housing and specialty housing for small groups of people who need that. So screw you people. Do you understand? I am a trained parapsychologist. I in the state of Maryland because I have a degree in parapsychology and right, yes, and clergy. I am right considered a spiritual healer in the state of Maryland. So I do have the right to do and say some things because it's important. But from like a less spiritual issue, it's just important. Okay, we need housing and infrastructure way more than we need you earning money off the misery of others. Did you not see what you were doing? I do not have to be nice to them. Okay, if I'm looking like if I'm church and I'm talking to the state, right? I don't have to be nice to them. I don't. And yes, so yes, I also do turn people into law enforcement. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, like I said, yes, I did talk to someone today. They explained, like, I need to get a peace order. She needs to go. Okay, in the spiritual, she's so weak, she can't. But she can still cause problems, right? But she should be handled by law enforcement. She cannot spiritually harm you guys. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't care. But also, I wanted to mention that I do get the very strong and distinct feeling on the reason that I'm trying to get some people to really look at the way Upper Bay operates. One, they're letting a pedophile just walk around the streets, and they claim that they're allowed to protect pedophiles and minors. It's truth. Okay? But after spending some time with certain individuals, it's still sitting. And if it's still sitting after this long, they may actually have somebody who's criminally insane. So this is why I'm mentioning to people, like anyone who can jump in, anyone who can help assess anyone, especially autistic advocates, because some autistic adults just simply cannot handle change. Yes, changing routines. Some of them are abusive, not on necessarily purpose, but if it gets misunderstood, you know what I mean. Yes, and too many autistic adults are running around here all loose, and it's not okay. Okay, some of them wasting their money, some of them getting taken advantage of so badly. Yes, I can't stay quiet. I'm not going to. And yeah, I'm going to sue the hell out of them. Okay, I'm working on looking for a lawyer. I can only do so much. I need help. I've been asking for volunteers for a long time. And I miss my children. And I'm way too sensitive for people to be coming at me like this. So, those with some understanding need help. And I need like physical help too. I know some are far away and you can't, but you still have. But the ones you can, anybody who can move closer, anybody you can come visit for a while, anybody. Okay, and I really do not want to dissolve a ministry, but there is no way. Okay, I was never meant to handle this all by myself. I was spiritually, but yeah, in the secular. And so I want Christians to understand, no, I'm not a spiritualist, but I do use some terms that may come across that way. And like I said, yes, I used to be, you understand? And yeah, but I'm good with God. I don't care. Do you understand? I will not at all ever challenge or wreck that relationship, not for you or anybody. Okay, but you all got to know that I am. Okay, and you may, yes, I know people hate God, but they're not. It isn't. It isn't necessarily hate. It's this right. It's hard to explain because they don't understand what happened. And I'm understanding of that. And I'm understanding when people kind of blow up at me sometimes, but I can't. I mean, I had to stop looking for grants. I just, I mean, I certainly wasn't trying to overload myself, but I can tell you here is how bad it affected me. Someone who's supposed to be helping me triggered me really badly. The next day, I quite literally was just unable to get up and do anything. I managed to stagger into the bathroom, take morning meds, eat a little bit of food, drink a little bit, go to the bathroom, and like, yeah, I was having, yeah, my neurological stuff was really agitated, and yeah, persistent thoughts of suicide, sometimes they're not mine, but it is hard to discern, and I can have problems. So I do have a safety plan, and I want everybody to know that. You understand? So I'm going to explain it so doctors and regular people, so I'm safe that way. Okay, I'm not going to, but should I get any persistent, heavy, or those kind of thoughts, I'm aware of them, and I have a safety plan, right? Uh, but I know I've mentioned it, but I'm mentioning it again because it might be helpful to other people. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Uh, if I feel that way, yeah. Um, I put on my shoes and I start walking down toward the hospital. Just get some air, walking, whatever. And sometimes I just dissipate and feel all right. Well, I've gotten out and I'm out, and I go back home. Okay. Sometimes they persist, so I just go and sit in the lobby of the hospital, or maybe the waiting room or something, and just be around people and see if it dissipates. But if it doesn't, I don't mind, going to the ER for an emergency eval, because it could also be like a physical, thing having to do with my, yeah. But if it really is an issue, if for some reason I'm like in sleep deep, and which doesn't happen often, but I mean, if I'm exhausted enough, but yeah, it, I don't know. It's just I I know, I don't know how to put this, but I would know to just drag my butt over and hit my emergency call button. Okay. Right. I don't want to. That's not right. But I needed to stop. I mean, you people are driving me to it, and you shouldn't be. Yeah, so all of you think this is hocus pocus. I don't give a shit what you think. Too bad. Get out of the conversation. You don't belong here. All right. But yes, some of us are spiritual people. And yes, some of us think eternally. And yes, some of us can communicate with our minds from far away. But I miss my children really badly. And right. And then I asked Michael to send out distress signals. But I know that Michael has already started sending. There have been some receivers that have opened already today, and mail and pass, and I thoroughly appreciate you guys. You just have no idea, because the more who jump in, the more balanced the workload, and the quicker I start to feel better, and the more secure I can keep, use some energy to protect Amy, and she can sense healthy presence. Okay, and that helps her. You understand? It helps her stay focused there. But that takes me extra energy. So thoroughly appreciated any male empath anywhere. Uh, yes. If you're not otherwise, has been made safe levels. It's safe levels for you guys now. So yeah, for the males. So I'm letting you know it's safe now. Okay, for males. So the more who jump in, the faster this happens, and the better. And you'd be doing me like it will start exponentially helping me. I'm so sensitive right now, guys. So everybody just be as protective of me as you can, okay? So appreciate it. But I'm not anybody's enemy. You understand? Yeah, I'm honest with you, and I'm telling you that I honestly don't really know if I have the capability of hating someone. But I do know that, there's boundaries and there are other things. So, yes, and it's helpful. I'm also looking for a therapy dog because that'll solve my depression problem right there. Except if it becomes a chemical issue, but you know what I'm saying. I go to doctors, I keep track of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, essentially, there's no way. There's no way I could. You know what I'm trying to say? And I love animals, and having that just that kind of support. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even if I've been like really, uh, not so good way at any point of the day, it doesn't matter because they, yeah, I can't dwell, which is another reason why I also take the time to dance around, do music, and yeah, I mean open a little bit of time to try and creatively make some music. So I mean these things help me. I'm I mean excuse me, real world, you need to help me too. I've also been badly abused. You understand? Okay, so I was in trauma therapy for something that happened to me because I was raped and tortured. Do you understand me? Okay, you people cannot keep doing this. Law enforcement needs to jump in and help me a little bit here. And I do need very protective, non pushy people around me. Okay? My my earthly family, they're all gone. I don't have that like many of you do. So I'm just simply saying, I'm very glad that YouTube doesn't really harass me about anything. And I am educated and I am, right? I mean, I've been an instructor and trainer. And so I do try and help interpret sometimes what some things mean. And so yeah, so regular human physical, you say expecting, you think right, physical baby, but this is kind of a little bit different, and it's a much more sensitive, intimate thing. But it it means that we're in a good place, believe it or not. But I also want people to know, the Earth is. Please concentrate on slow recovery, everyone. Right? Because there's some. It's gonna take them longer, and we, after a pandemic, sometimes it doesn't get processed until a year later or two. So I am asking everyone to be cautious and be on the lookout. And if you start feeling overwhelmed, do your best to address it. And if you're having difficulty doing that by yourself, try to reach out for help. Okay? In the United States, 988. Okay, text 988. Right. Um, yeah, star 988 is a crisis and suicide prevention hotline. Okay. And, well, that's the thing is that if you are a spiritual person, I mean, yes, there might be some volunteers that can be found. You know what I'm saying? It will help you be acknowledged immediately. Okay. And so don't be frightened to ask for help, even if you don't know what's wrong. Okay. If you're getting the sense that something's wrong, it might be that, like, yeah, you have, like, you picked up the flu virus. It can be something like that, but it could be that you're picking up a little bit of spiritual activity, and it is very, very, can be disconcerting sometimes if you're not aware that that can even happen. Okay, but I want people to know, it's like, try not to be frightened. I I honestly, seriously, I mean, yes, like, so hard to even hate. I can't hate. I just, what I'm saying? But I don't just let people run over me, which is what, you know. Okay, everybody. So I really appreciate everyone who's like, okay, I can't rescue anyone. I'm more inactive now because health and protection, and yeah, it's like I'm expecting, which is really good news. That means that everybody needs to be really protective of me, including in the real secular world, and that includes right. You understand what I'm saying? So those of you, that work for the government, social workers, and people, I just need some patience, time, and understanding. Okay, but I do know that Amy is going to need talk therapy, but right now it's just getting over the shock. Okay, but no one should press, push. Okay, let her kind of guide you on what she thinks she needs. But yes, she needs support and a circle of protection, sort of. Like, and so I just reported that, but I'm also reporting abuse to me. And so, yeah. And listen, people, I don't have a family. You know what I'm trying to say? What the hell? Get involved. And I have the right to tell Social Security and to tell Social Services that there's a bunch of frauds running around and they're ripping people off. Well, I'm not one of them. I don't even ask people, right? Why ask for money? You people don't give a fuck. You just want what you want. I don't know why I should be forgiving trespasses when many of you don't forgive trespasses. But I just don't care anymore. Moving on. That's it. We're done, everybody. We're done. Fuck them. Stop helping them. They will find out the hard way. And a lot of them will not survive it.